After the release of Jurassic World Rebirth, fans want a Jurassic Park game more than ever. And it's been a while since we've heard anything from the official game, Jurassic Park Survival. So, I figured I'd make my own Jurassic game. Well, I've actually been making this game since 2020, but still. So originally our game was called Jurassic Park Operations, but obviously Universal didn't really like that, so I had to rebrand the entire game. But I made sure to keep the same feeling of Jurassic Park. It's been a while since my last devlog, so I want to talk about the state of the game and how close we are to release. I also want to announce a couple exciting new things about the game. So just as a recap, our game was originally called Jurassic Park Operations and is now called Cretaceous Kingdom. I sort of already showed off the updated logo in my last devlog, but I never really talked about it or highlighted the changes I made. In that last major devlog, I revealed this as the new official logo for the game. But after using it for a while, I still felt that there were things that could be improved. The first thing I wanted to do was reduce the clutter a bit and make things more focused. I decided to cut the raptor skeleton from the logo and make the overall shape less wide. That left me with this. But it still just wasn't really working for me. And when viewed from far away, it was still a little messy. So then I tried simplifying it even further. This solved the problem of it being hard to understand what the logo was depicting from a distance, but up close it didn't really look detailed enough. So I finally decided to let go of these dinosaur skeleton designs and start fresh. I instead went with the skeleton of a T-Rex embryo since the logo sort of already resembled an egg, so this was my very first iteration of this new idea. It wasn't bad, and it solved all the issues I had with my previous designs, but it still felt very slightly off. So after a few more iterations, I landed on this as the final design with the mouth open and the tail more curved. I also slightly changed the colors to make this blue stand out more and reflect the bright yellow of the Jurassic Park logo more. I am still making this game in PlayStation's Dreams, so I couldn't just import an image of the logo into the game. I had to remake the logo yet again in Dreams, and this time I think I got it nearly 1-to-1. There are a few minor differences since I just had to eyeball everything, but I still think it turned out well. It also just fits into the world better than the old oval-shaped logo did. But let me know what you think of the new redesign. Right now, I don't plan on changing it again. This will very likely be the final logo for the game. We've gone through so many logos and iterations over the years, so it's nice to have a finalized logo. We've made a lot of progress since my last devlog, and I can't wait to show it off. Some things I'm going to show off in my next devlog more in depth, but here are a few things I want to share now. Something I made a while ago but never properly showed off was a brand new main menu for the game. Along with the menu, I started working on a new soundtrack for the game. Right now there aren't that many tracks, but the quality of the new stuff is much better than my old soundtrack. The background music of this video you're hearing right now is part of that new soundtrack. There's also a new equipment wheel where you can select your weapon, flashlight, or night vision goggles. We've also been finishing a lot of the major locations of the game. Environmental design is something that takes a lot of time when making this game, but to me it's one of the most enjoyable parts of development. Creating mechanics in dinosaur AI does take time and is a bit more interesting, but I usually have more fun just making the scenes. Speaking of dinosaur AI, the raptors have improved so much over time. They can now open doors and communicate with each other to take down the player. It's gotten to the point where sometimes I have trouble going up against them. I also recently added this quick look behind mechanic that lets you quickly check your back without having to actually turn around. This is just something I think is needed for a console game where you can't just flick your mouse around and look behind you whenever you want. It also helps in the Jeep since we can't actually have reflections in the rear of your mirrors. So in a chase with a T-Rex, it's a lot easier to keep track of it without having to slowly turn all the way around and take your eyes off the road ahead. Something I think is worth addressing is that I've seen a lot of people saying that they could just mod the game and bring back the Jurassic Park branding, and that just is not possible. For one, the game would have to be on PC for that to work, but also the branding isn't just textures or pictures in the game. These are physical models of the logo. Unless you somehow learn the very specific ways I made the game, it would be nearly impossible to just add the Jurassic Park branding back. But I think it's better this way. This game is meant to be Cretaceous Kingdom. Everything from the music to the characters to the story will work better as Cretaceous Kingdom. And sure, some things about the game will resemble Jurassic Park, but in the end this will be an original game that has nothing to do with Universal. This is a fan game made solely for fans. Now let's get back to talking about the dinosaurs. So I want every dinosaur with AI in this game to have unique mechanics. For example, the T-Rex can only see you if you move, and the raptors will communicate with each other and surround you. For the Dilophosaurus, I was thinking of a simpler mechanic of just not looking at it in the eyes to avoid aggravating it. Either that, or you need to shine your flashlight on it to blind it before it can shoot its venom at you. But I'm sort of leaning towards the don't look at it mechanic, since I don't want the solution to every dinosaur just to be look at it and shoot. This is where I want your feedback and ideas. What do you think should be the unique mechanic for the Dilophosaurus and for the Herrerasaurus? The only unique items the player has right now are the flashlight and the Spaz 12, but we are thinking of adding some sort of flare mechanic for distracting dinosaurs. So maybe the Herrera could be easily distracted by flares, or flares could be the only thing to hold them off. Please let me know in the comments what you think. I'm trying to come up with something fun and interesting for every species in the game. Speaking of species, I want to announce a brand new one in development for Cretaceous Kingdom, the Compsognathus. I was thinking this could be more of an ambient dinosaur that you just see around the park sometimes rather than an actual threat. Well, as long as there aren't a ton of them. The footage you're seeing now is me making the base model for the Compy, just getting all the proportions right without any of the details. Once I finished with the base, or what I like to call the Play-Doh model, I sent it off to a returning Cretaceous Kingdom developer, Dex. Dex was one of the original founders of the game back when it was called Jurassic Park Operations, but recently he decided to rejoin the project and help speed up development even further. Just look at how incredible the texturing job on the Compy is. It's awesome to have him back working on the game with us. Also, I think his T-Rex model, Made in Dreams, might actually be better than any of the official CGI T-Rexes. Anyway, all I had to do next was start rigging and animating the Compy, and that was pretty straightforward. After a few hours of rigging and animating, I added some basic sounds, and there we go. The Compy is basically done. Well, it's still missing a ton of animations and there's no actual AI, but the hardest part, in my opinion, is done. And it looks straight out of The Lost World. If you have any cool ideas of what kind of gameplay would be fun with the Compys, then feel free to let me know about that too. The game has so much finished, but there is still a lot of work to be done. With every video, I know people will be wondering about a release date, but I still don't have a definitive date. Right now, our version number is 0.8.2, and release is going to be at 1.0. So I guess you could say the game is roughly 80% done in terms of environments and gameplay. Our goal is still to get the game out this year, but I can't fully promise that it will 100% happen. What I can promise is that we will be releasing a playable demo very, very soon. Within the coming weeks, you'll be able to play this game, or at least something representative of it. I don't want to spoil too much of what the demo will be, but I think a lot of Jurassic fans will have fun with it, so look forward to that. I'll also definitely release some sort of trailer for the demo, so subscribe to make sure not to miss out on that. I mean, we just hit 50,000 subscribers, so I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate than to release a demo. Anyway, this has been Krenautican. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.